For question number 38, which is a study-based question, we are given with the graph of the sine x. And sine x function is, we all know, is defined for domain -1 to 1 closed interval. And inverse of the function exists from -1 to 1 for a. And we have to ask, on the basis of the above information, we have to answer the following questions. So if a is the interval, then principal value branch. So principal value branch is the value of sine inverse x from 0 to 2 pi. And in this, we have to give another interval other than the principal value branch. So another interval for this could be minus pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. So this is, sorry, pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2 is another interval apart from the principal value branch, and it's a closed one. So this is a closed interval. Now for second question, it's given that if sine inverse x is defined from -1 to 1 to its principal value branch, we have to find the value of sine inverse half minus sine inverse 1. So let's get the value of sine inverse 1. Let's say, so we are doing the second part. So let's say y is equal to sine inverse negative half, which gives me sine y is equal to negative half. Now we know that the value of sine angle for which the value of sine is half is pi by 6. So I can write it as negative remains out. So instead of half, I can write sine pi by 6, which is sine 30, which is half. Now I can write this as, this is sine of negative pi by 6, because we know that sine of negative x is equal to negative sine x. Okay, which gives me y is equal to negative pi by 6. So this is equal to negative pi by 6. Let's find the value of sine inverse 1. So same process we will follow. So let's say y is equal to sine inverse 1, which gives me sine y is equal to 1, and angle for which the value of sine is 1 is sine pi by 2. So which gives me y is equal to pi by 2. So this means this is equal to pi by 2. Okay, so I can write this as, so sine inverse negative half is minus pi by 6 minus sine inverse 1 is pi by 2, which gives me, I can take 12 as LCM. So this is minus 2 pi minus 6 pi, which is minus 8 pi by 12, and this is now equal to minus 2 pi by 3. So this has been validated to the value minus 2 pi by 3. Okay, moving on to the third part, we have to draw the graph of sine inverse x from -1 to 1 to its principal value branch. Okay, so for question number third, we have to draw the graph of sine inverse x, which is equal to from -1 to 1. So -1 to 1, this is the domain. So let's draw our x-axis, and we have an y-axis. So now in this case, on x-axis, it's uh, the domain. Just give me a minute. Okay, so we have to draw the graph for sine inverse x here. And for x, the value goes from -1 to 1, and we know that. So sine inverse 1 is equal to pi by 2. So on y-axis, we have these angles. So for sine inverse 1, the value is pi by 2. So we are here. This is pi by 2. And for sine inverse negative 1, so this is sine inverse negative 1, the value is negative pi by 2. So for it's this is negative pi by 2. So we have this point and this point, and if we join these uh, points, our graph looks somewhat like this. So this is the graph of y is equal to sine inverse x. Okay, for the same part, we have to find the domain and range of f of x is equal to sine inverse 1 minus x. So our function is f of x is equal to, this is 2 sine inverse 1 minus x. Okay, so for the domain means we have to find the range for x. So domain means x. Now, this value, we all know that 1 minus x, this value is greater than or equal to minus 1 domain and less than equal to sine inverse function. Okay, so let's try to get the value of x. So I'm going to add minus 1 on both the on every side. So this is minus 1 plus 1 minus x. This is now 1 minus 1. So I have subtracted negative 1, which gives me minus 2 is less than equal to negative x is less than equal to 0. Okay, so if I multiply this with the negative signs, which gives me x is greater than equal to 0, but less than equal to 2. So the domain is now equal to is the closed interval 0 to 2. This is the domain. Now we have to find the range, that is y. To find the range, now sine inverse x has the domain minus 1 to 1, and we know that we can get these values for the angles minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So that means this sine inverse 1 minus x is greater than equal to minus pi by 2 and less than equal to pi by 2. We have to get the range. So that is, this is actually 2 sine inverse x. Now our function is 2 sine inverse x, so this is y. So let's try to make this function. So I'm going to multiply each and every term with 2. So 2, this is 2 sine inverse 1 minus x is less than equal to pi by 2 into 2, which gives me minus pi is less than. So this is y, and this is our range. So range, so this is less than equal to pi. And so we can say that range is equal to minus pi to pi. So this is the range. Okay, thank you for watching.